So tonight we're up for discussion and talking about a topic. The topic is, how do I let go? We can hold on to stuff all day long and hold it with both hands with all of our might. It's there. We're going to talk about hurt. Now, the hurt is a pain that is inflicted emotionally. It's inflicted physically or spiritually. Hurt can happen many different ways. It can be experienced at the hands of a single person. It can happen in a group of people, an organization, or even leadership of an organization. Often its leaders inside of this organization at the top tend to inflict more pain and damage than most of the time people on the lower parts. The term hurt encompasses various forms of suffering, both physical and emotional, and can represent harm, injury, or a wound. Both are literal and figurative, as well as normal corruption and gain. Being hurt is real. And also in the lines of hurt, there's something called church hurt. This is a new phrase that is commonly not talked about a whole bunch. It's a term used to describe a wide range of experiences in which someone was let down, was wounded, or trust was broken by someone within the church. While the term is relatively new, the concept is not. At the center of 1 Thessalonians 2, Paul says in his own experience, he experienced church hurt. He didn't call it church hurt, but he details it in many of his epistles and letters that he wrote to different churches in Corinth, in Rome, in Thessalonica. He wrote all these different things, and he told and highlighted key points. Key point in fact, if you guys knew this, great. If you didn't, here it is. Every year, 2.7 million people, they leave the church and organized religion because of hurt. Did you guys know that? I didn't know that till recently. That's a big number. Lifeway did that research and found that 66% of churchgoers who stopped attending church regularly reported they left because of personal conflict or painful church experiences. It's tough. I mean, this is a lot of folks. It's important to note that these are estimates and actual figures could be even higher. Hurt is something that happens. A lot of times when people are hurt, there's no log to track. They just disappear. People vanish and they're gone. When people get hurt, they don't want to reassess and go back and jump back into a fire when they were assaulted, burned, or injured. Nobody wants to get hurt or go back to where they were hurt. Tonight, I want to share just a brief story. We've all experienced hurt, but I want to illustrate and just tell you guys a little bit about my story, my testimony of where I'm at. Currently, I've dealt for the past year with 2 hand grenades in my hand. These pins have been pulled. I don't know what to do with them. They are in my hands. I want to get rid of them. I want to drop them, but the hurt, the emotion, they're there. So I just want to go through and just detail a brief stint of what I've experienced. About a year ago to the day, roughly a week off, I walked into a staff meeting at a church. I was told, the secretary really feels that you aren't really working 20 hours. They work more than you do and get paid less. That's not right. That hurt. I was like, well, isn't that gossip? In my head, I'm thinking, is this not gossip? I let it go. I'm cool. I'll let things roll and brush under the rug. The next week, I was met with, we've had some complaints. 2 different teams in the church feel that you aren't working 20 hours a week, your part-time salary. We want to set up a meeting and help you get your 20 hours. We want to help you get there and make sure that you're working that. Well, my job description was handed to me. I just slid it back. I was like, what do you think? Well, we've had some complaints. I began to feel hurt, and I was like, man, does everybody really think that? Well, later on, more instances were brought up, and insinuations/allegations were made, things that weren't mentioned. A meeting was held, and these things were brought up. It quickly turned into let's throw more mud and cover this up and make somebody dirty. This went on for about an hour. 3 weeks passed by. I didn't talk to the responsible party. Why would you talk to somebody that's injured you? Why would you talk to somebody that clearly has intent to do harm? So I let it ride. Well, I was sitting in church, and we arrived that Sunday morning. Sunday morning service was about to start, and we're sitting by ourselves. We're sitting all by ourselves. Me and another family are on one side. Everybody's moved to the opposite side of the church. I'm like, what's going on here? Well, at the end of the service, I was approached and extended an olive branch by somebody privately. It was intent that it was communicated before by the tone and premise. From that point on, it was encouraged by the media team. Please make sure all your recording media is turned off. Please make sure there's no recording or live stream going on. And then, as you know, an apology was issued out. It was given to one family. And then libel was handed out, which is a printed form of slander. And slander was echoed from the pulpit. From that point onward, man, I was bitter. I was hurt. I didn't know what to do. I was like, man, this is a church. I'm a pastor at a church. What is going on here? I tried to take a week of vacation. I was worried sick. Insinuations. I was painted in a picture. It was not true. Well, sort of kind of it was true. They picked and choose the truths that they wanted to paint. But the painting was in a negative way. A week later, I went to a meeting with the director of the association as well as the leader and a team. It turned into a very quick one-sided battle. I had no chance to talk. There was no defense. It is what it is. But at that point, I realized it's time to just leave. There's no need in arguing with the devil. We've seen arguing what the devil does. It's you can't win. There's no winning unless it is Jesus and you're standing on the word. There's no winning that. So I walked away and I resigned from that position. And here we're going to talk about this. What do you do? How do you let go to hurt? I've been trying to figure this thing out for a year. I've been trying to look and decide, what do I do with this hurt? How do I let it go? I just want to cover some brief examples of hurt in the Bible. We have to be vulnerable and share our stories to help other people. And this is what I'm trying to do. There's somebody out there who needs to hear this. And God has put this message on my heart, and I've got to proclaim it. I am a herald for the gospel. I've got to tell you, as might hurts me and might hurt whatever it is, I've got to talk about it. There is turmoil was in the church. The church, we see in all these different letters, it's not just in modern day, it happened in the past as well. Being in the church and experiencing hurt and experiencing chaos is nothing new at all.